pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Meeting comes to order.
Move to approve the agenda.
Second.
Any additions or corrections?
No.
All in favor of the agenda as printed, say aye.
Aye.
And the chair votes aye. Agenda has been approved. Any public comment? Seeing none.
Move to approve March 24th and March 24th meeting minutes.
Second.
First and second, any additions or corrections? Seeing none, all in favor of the minutes from, for the property tax hearing and the regular meeting, say aye.
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 And the chair votes aye. We have claims in front of us. Do I ever hear a motion?
Move to approve as presented.
Second.
Any additions or corrections? Seeing none, all in favor of the claim, say aye.
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 And the chair votes aye. We do have a couple additions for step increases. Reagan Mulder from CBS, Melissa Jordan from CBS, Tiffany Schmidt from CBS, Dejarja Spatz from CBS, Sheena Bells from CBS, all just with step increases.
Move to approve.
Second.
Any other discussion? Seeing none, all in favor of the pay changes, say aye.
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 And the chair votes aye. We have approved those. I've been working on Leslie's library with Liz Ham from, she's a judicial district, second district over Floyd, Bremer, Butler, and Franklin counties. They have a program where they can provide free children books to courthouses. So I reached out to, like, you know, we were thinking maybe by treasurer's office, maybe up on third floor, maybe on second floor, but we've come to the conclusion maybe the second floor would be best. They would provide the books, and all we would have to do is provide a bookcase, and we'd have to do some tidying around it. So I talked to Scott a little bit about this. He's suggesting like a little roller bookcase, so it's easy for staff to move it out, to mop, and et cetera. So Darius thinks it's a good idea. It would provide any kids that happen to be in court, watching court, some access to books. So just want to give it to you guys. Any thoughts or consideration?
I read the email on it. I have no concerns over it. I think it's a good idea for some children to have something to interact with and
Yeah.
pass the time.
My only concern is things have turned sour in that lobby in the past. It doesn't happen often, but you can get into some pretty
Heated.
upset people, and a rolling cart could become a weapon per se. Again, maybe, I guess if the court's not concerned about it, maybe we shouldn't be, but at the same time, you know, we're
And
the
there's-
ones that'll have the liability associated with it, not them. So.
Yeah, and I did show Scott, you know, theoretically, maybe some shelves that we just adhere to the wall.
Right,
on the
that,
wall.
that to me would be my preference.
Yeah.
Because then they can't toss you get a big guy and he throws a metal cart at somebody, you could really cause some damage.
So I think that'll be up to us, you know, how we want to present the books, but there's some options there, so. And I can get back to them on, I don't know how many books it actually is, so.
And as you described, that you could easily get one that can mount on a wall and be kept up off the floor so it doesn't become a maintenance headache, so.
Yeah.
I'd move to approve if we could get something that is attached to the wall and not be a maintenance problem.
I'll second that motion.
Good. We'll continue that discussion. I'll tell them that we are in support of it. We'll just have to work out some details, and it'll be this summer timeframe. So we had the motion, so let's, all in favor of continuing discussions with judicial branch to get these children's books, say aye.
Aye.
And the chair votes aye. So we'll continue that discussion with them now. We have a review for the annual municipal solid waste sanitary landfill insurance form. Do we hear a motion to discuss that?
Move to authorize the chair to sign.
Second.
So this is probably something annually, so I forget anybody. Tell us what's going on here. Does anybody know what's going on here?
So what we have to do is we have to have this completed, and we use our HLW engineering group to do this for us. And it's just saying that over the, I believe, 13 years that we have remaining with their post-closure cost estimates, that we have enough money sitting in our fund. So they give what they think that will be over those 13 years, and we are above that. We are planning to draw down on that a little bit this year, those funds. But we're still in very good shape for the remaining 3 years, or 13 years, excuse me.
Yep. And because we're sitting at almost 900,000
Yes.
in the fund, and our probably what we're supposed to, minimum amount is 261.
Yes. Yep.
Okay. Any more discussion? If not, all in favor of the board chair signing this document, say aye.
Aye.
And the chair votes aye. Okay. Committee updates.
I didn't have anything.
I just had we had a Zoom meeting last week, discussed some more about health insurance, just some more options, what we're finding. Cassandra, basically we're finding that we have a deal that's really good with where we're currently at with our self-funded program. Waiting for some quotes from Excel Group to finish up that directive we had engaged with them for, but as it stands right now, I don't think that unless something earth-shattering comes through, we won't be making a change from where we're at right now.
So we'll bring that back to the full board.
Hopefully next Tuesday.
Once we
Okay.
have
Yeah.
those final quotes from Excel, we'll bring that back for a formal discussion.
Great. I had a wonderful meeting on HIPAA, so making progress on that. So it's once again, we'll probably engage or have Lindley engage in some attorney, so for some final questions, but she's going to go out and get some more answers from department heads or HIPAA department heads, and then she'll get that out there. That'll come back to the board for approval for that attorney, so that'll be coming. And then I had housing, and once again, there is going to be a housing summit on April 23rd. It'll start at 1, there'll be 2 sessions, 1 o'clock, and then at 5 o'clock. 1 o'clock is more for staff. The 5 o'clock is more oriented for elected officials, but whatever is good for your time. So that'll be some good information. That'll be talking about different programs, TIF financing. So those are some of the things that will be discussed. And it's open to, some volunteers too, so if people who are listening and want to get more information, go ahead and email me and I'll send out the flyer to you guys. So that's happening. So those are my 2 updates. And then HIPAA training, all the supervisors need to do that.
Yes.
Okay. So, so I make sure, I did the training the previous day, so hopefully you guys can get that on your NeoGov site and complete it. It's worthwhile. You'll learn a lot of information.
And there she is.
And,
Take
So,
your
yeah,
training.
yeah.
and Lindley did say, once you complete your HIPAA training, to tell her she has a small gift for you, so.
Less than $3.
Sticker.
That is it. We'll just wait about 5 minutes and we'll,
Jen, can I get that form for the, and get it sent?
Yes, and then we'll send copies to Shelley.
Yep, yep. If she wants them, I will sure get them to her.
yeah, the HIPAA training was good, but the bloodborne pathogens was more exciting.
Yeah. I mean, they're all the same every year, though. But I like science better than HIPAA, so I would agree with you.
Want to do
Morning,
this?
morning. Morning, everybody.
Just going back with the other company, which is fine.
I don't know at this point. I'm still waiting on a response from my original question.
Bob, that's a great color shirt there.
I just,
I mean, we're not gonna have the full 1,000, because it was only
Yeah.
$990, whatever.
Pretty
but
cheerful.
I don't know.
Try and match your tie.
We'll see.
Thank you, yes.
Their website doesn't have like good information on it for like tax exempt agencies.
I'll
Or,
have to get-
yeah, they won't, they don't like phone calls, they only want you to text them. And they're not responsive.
You know, Lenley and I able to take that HIPAA training at home if I forward that email to myself. I am.
I mean, as long as you know your login information
Okay.
for NeoGov, if you don't, who resets that? Barb?
Yeah, Barb can, if you don't have your password.
Okay.
Alrighty, and like I said, make sure you tell Lindley that you passed it. You gotta take a test too. So.
It's a simple one, it's not a long training.
Alrighty, we'll start, Lindley, with our health department. You wanna give us your updates?
Yeah, so here today for another, it's a new national opioid settlement, 6 remnant defendants. So this includes 6 regional distributors and dispenser defendants that include Associated Pharmacies, J.M. Smith Corporation, Louisiana Wholesale Drug Company, Morrison Dickinson Company, North Carolina Mutual Wholesale Drug Company, and United National Foods Incorporated. So for this one, signing on to this settlement, it has to be submitted on or before May 4th for initial participation calculations and payment eligibility. And the settlement value is just under 98 million.
For Bremer County?
No, as a whole.
Okay,
That's really all the more information I have at this
Do
point.
you have any concerns?
No, and I discussed it with Darius too, and he looked it over.
Does he have any concerns?
Nope, look good from legal.
Move to approve and authorize the chair to sign.
any more discussion? How many more of these do you expect to come?
I don't know, they'll keep coming until they've reached settlements with everybody probably that was part of.
They've done the manufacturers, now they're going to distribution. I mean, I assume there's gonna be potentially a lot of distribution, potentially.
Yeah, and distributors and dispensers.
Okay. Interesting. Okay, if no other questions, authorize the board chair to sign the National Opioids for 6 remnant defendant settlement. Say aye.
Aye.
And the chair votes aye, so I'll do that. I'll hopefully do that this afternoon, or tonight.
Yep.
I'll come in tonight.
That's a docu-sign, so if you have any issues with it, let me know. Otherwise, there are instructions just to sign, and then we can send this electronically if that doesn't work. So let me know if there's any issues with that.
Okay. And any other updates?
I mean, just with opioids, we purchased from the last time I was here, the grocery bags, the drug disposal information, the deterror packages. We're getting all of that put together in bags, and then in the middle of April, we start having our community events where we'll be handing those out. So the first is the senior fair, and then we have Bremer County Community Partners Family Fun Fair. And then when the Bremer County Fair you can start applying to have a vendor booth for the 2026 fair. I'll come to the board to authorize that expense, and then it'll be there this summer as well.
Okay.
And
But
we
the
have-
Family Fun Fair, April 25th is usually a large turnout, so
Yeah.
it's,
Yep. We'll be just right at the door. The first thing that they get handed is one of those when they walk in. So,
great.
yeah.
Anything else?
With opioids, we have our quarterly meeting next week, I think, next Friday, the 10th. Yeah, that's where we are right now with opioid stuff.
Great.
Thank you, Linda.
Thank you. Have a good Easter.
Thank you. I may have something for your table for an event, maybe you can help, a Flag Day event, so.
Okay. Sounds good.
you happen to, I still am getting the chaos. I'm still getting all of that.
They know that it's Bob. Are you getting it from,
I got one,
I'm wondering if we need to switch it with the,
let me look at.
where we have our testing done for the water samples. They, I know, used to send you invoices. Right off, I can't remember the name of the company, but HLW is communicating with Bob.
Mary Clemsroot?
What company, what's the end of her email?
DNR?
Oh, no, that's DNO.
You got a copy of it, but I don't know.
It was for the extension. They were not certain that we were gonna have this report in, it's due today.
I'll just respond to it and say, please send future communications to
Perfect.
you and to current chair.
Yeah, Tim's having some issues, and our engineer's having some issue with the DNR, some of the sampling required. How could that be? Compared to other counties, some of our supplemental wells may not need to be tested anywhere they believe.
Okay.
Hello!
How are you guys?
Fantastic.
Annie,
Yes.
what can I do for you?
So
Are you-
I'm
are you
with
actually-
Riverview Center. Yes.
You are.
Yeah. So
Okay.
excited to be here today.
Just for your information, in the past, I don't know how the city did proclamations, but we always have the chair read them. So you might want to read it as we're passing it.
And that for your name?
Sam Zimmerman.
Okay.
Yes.
So we'll start at 9:30, and get this, and Dewey says I'll read it and sign it, and if you want a picture or something like that, we can do that, so,
That'd be perfect.
okay.
Busy, Sam?
Busy?
Yeah, has it been
Oh,
busy?
yeah, I'd say so. It's starting to kind of pick up again now
Yeah.
that something with the weather.
Weather,
It's
springtime.
Always something in the
Yep.
air. Yeah. Have you all been pretty busy?
We're kind of wrapped up budget season, so things usually calm down for us pretty good after budget process for a while, and then
Mhm.
it soon kicks back in, so.
Dewey's not running again, so, he's slacking off.
Oh, boy.
I had to prod him today to do some training, he just growled at me.
You give me permission, right?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I should have kept track of how many times I've had HIPAA training, and I understand the ever so slight changes that occur, but over the years that I've had HIPAA training, so little has ever changed, and, because I had HIPAA here, I had HIPAA at Public Health, and I had HIPAA at, the East Central Region, and why aren't I teaching it? Maybe getting paid, I don't know.
We can take that to the committee at the next meeting, right, Bob? We volunteering.
Yeah, do in-person.
You heard that, and get paid for it, right?
You are getting paid.
$0 around here.
Good. We'll probably start out, Sam, introductions, and then you can go in and tell people what Riverview Center is, and then we'll get to the proclamation.
Fantastic.
So we'll go to our next action item, or review item for Riverview Center. So Sam, why don't you introduce yourself, tell us a little bit about Riverview Center, and tell us what's going on and what's happening this month.
Great. Well, thank you so much for having me here today. My name is Sam. I work as a sexual assault advocate with Riverview Center. Our organization provides 100% free and confidential services to survivors of sexual violence. This impacts also, we have primary survivors, so the people directly affected, but also secondary survivors, so any friends, family, loved ones, and also our communities. So we're here for anyone that is impacted by sexual violence, which unfortunately in our society is pretty much everyone. So with that, we provide 3 main types of advocacy: medical, legal, and general. So we respond to hospital calls when someone shows up at the emergency room following a sexual assault, if they're interested in getting DNA evidence collected, if they are looking for medication. The sexual assault nurse examiners do a really great job with explaining that, but we're there to provide emotional support and follow-up care. We also do legal advocacy, so if someone is interested in filing a report with law enforcement, if there's any follow-up investigation, questioning, then going to depositions, trial, writing victim impact statements, all of that process. And then also if individuals are concerned about safety, we can go with them to the courthouse to file for a protection order and then be with them at the hearing for that order and then hopefully get that granted. And lastly, general advocacy. So a lot of times we're connecting people with community resources for whatever needs may pop up, if that's for things like food, housing, and sometimes too it is just social connection and trying to build up that support system again so that survivors can learn to trust and lean on others in the community aside from maybe 1 or 2 individuals or just their advocate. And then we also do community education and presentations, and that is kind of a general overview of our services.
And how do people get in contact with you?
Yes, so with that, we have our office number, so I work out of our Waterloo office, so that number is 319-939-9599. You can find that just on the web or on our website. And then we also have a 24-hour crisis line. So with that, even after hours, people can call if they just need someone to talk to. If they are interested in services, we will follow up within the next business day to make sure that they know that someone's going to take care of them and get that service that they are looking for. And two, for our individual advocates, if someone has access to like an email, they can always send us an email. But calling is usually the best way to get a hold of us.
Great. Good, and so we have a proclamation in front of us for Child Abuse Prevention Month. Do we hear a motion on that?
Move to approve and authorize the chair to sign.
Second?
And we'll first vote on and then we'll read it. So all in favor of the proclamation, say aye.
Aye.
And the chair votes aye. So we have approved the proclamation, and I'll just kind of read that. Whereas sexual assault affects women, children, and men of all racial, cultural, and economic backgrounds, and whereas in addition to the immediate physical and emotional costs, sexual assault may have associated consequences of post-traumatic stress disorder, substance abuse, depression, homelessness, and eating disorders, and suicide. And whereas sexual assault can be devastating not only to the survivor, but also to the family, friends, community of the survivor. And whereas, since no one person, organization, agency, or community can eliminate sexual assault on their own, we must work together to educate our entire population about what can be done to prevent sexual assault, support survivors and their significant others, and support those agencies providing services to the survivors. Now, therefore, we, the Board of Supervisors in and for the Bremer County, on behalf of all staff, citizens of Bremer County, do hereby proclaim the month of April 26th as Sexual Assault Awareness Month. So, in Bremer County, Iowa, encourage all citizens to learn more about preventing sexual violence too. So, and I really like this proclamation just because it says, we got to work together. It's all agencies, so so that's a great thing too. So, fantastic. I've signed this. And you want to get a picture or something like that, or?
Yes, that would be great.
Want to do it over here by the flag lobby in here?
Darius, you want to take it?
Sure. Anybody got a camera? Thank you.
Thank you, Darius.
Yeah, well, you should mention that great training you guys put on in January for us.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Desi, the SART coordinator, she does a great job with that, sexual assault investigations
All right, get up there.
training. Okay.
All right.
Thank you very much, and this is it.
All right, in 3, 2, 1. Oh, should I turn off the, yeah, I don't know how to do that. Okay, 3, 2, 1. There we go.
There you go.
Thank you so much.
Do you have the seal? It says the seal on there.
Great. Thank you so much.
Alrighty, Sam, thank you very much for coming and all the good work you guys do, so.
Thank you, Sam.
Thank you very much. Have a wonderful day.
You too.
Jen, do you have your copy over there?
Yes.
Have Bob sign it again and seal
Oh,
it, because I think Shelley will post it.
Yeah.
We'll post it.
Can you just sign right below here, or in this place?
Yeah.
You gave us a half hour for that?
I gave you 15 minutes, didn't I? Holy cow, there was a gap. Yes, half hour. Please discuss as needed. in my defense, I do send out the agenda. You guys could have said, hey, that's too big of a gap.
How long did it take you to do that HIPAA training?
I think it's 30 minutes. But you could probably skip right to the end, take the test.
Probably.
I mean, if you're that good doing.
You heard Mary Rewald died
Oh, no.
dinner Saturday after work.
Was she in nursing home?
I'm not sure which nursing home. She was in a nursing home or a care facility. I don't know which one. She was a nice lady.
Yeah.
I think you can go in and then, go in again and finish it. I don't think it has to be done at,
I'll just go and do it at home. And I'll be uninterrupted and not that big a deal. Not that big a deal.
no.
Okay, Bob, you're gonna get all the DNR stuff now, so. And then you got my email, right?
Yep. Yeah, I'll go take a look at it after this. Probably not much we can do to help, but
Probably not unless that culvert is getting plugged in if it's our culvert, but it sounds like it must be her culvert.
yeah, I think it's up
Do
in
it anyway,
between,
but-
yeah.
But
I'll
we're
take a look.
taking a look at it.
Alrighty. We got Landon Moore here today for our weekly updates. We got a couple items to discuss, so let's get into the discussion here. We have a document in front of us for the sign and agreement between the City of Waverly and Bremer County for the project development of Ivanhoe Trail Bridge. So, do we hear a motion to discuss this?
I'd move to authorize the board chair to sign the agreement.
Second.
We're in discussion now. Landon, why don't you give us an overview of this, how much it's gonna cost, what's our particulars, and et cetera.
Yeah, so total cost, essentially, as an exhibit to our project development agreement, we have the professional services agreement from WHKS, which the city will sign upon our concurrence with the overall agreement. Not to exceed cost for the full design and information gathering is $110,900. Of that, WHKS analyzed what portions of the project approximately would be caused by our road realignment. And so they broke it out. The city will pay, in the not to exceed cost, $70,300, and Bremer County would be responsible for $40,600. That'll take it all the way through final design into letting. So that would be everything we would have between now and putting that project out to bid. That is a not to exceed cost, so it won't be any higher than that. The city did mention they have had a few of those come in under budget, so we may not spend that much, but that would be our maximum dollar amount to spend on this.
And is that all in, or do we have any additional work on the buffers in front of the road?
That would not include, let me double check this, I don't believe from memory that included right-of-way acquisition. We would handle that. Yeah, that did not, that would include the plats, but not the actual acquisition itself. So our only additional costs that we would have would be any right-of-way we needed to acquire.
And any work, dirt work on that?
Yeah, yep, the work itself, this is just to take it to final design and to get it out to bid. The actual cost of the project, we'll have to figure out how we want to handle that when we get to that point.
Well, and isn't that where the purchase of land would go into too, would be the cost of the project itself?
Right.
Not in the design phase of it.
Any other discussion?
What's the timeline, this summer or next summer? Next summer.
Next summer to build. Their intent was to have it let end of this year. I don't remember if they gave an exact date, but
Here it says
yeah, it just says
construction.
construction, winter 26, spring 27. So
Okay.
project letting October, December 26.
And once again, from this contract, I mean, we're only for Ivanhoe, but they're also doing the inner.
They're doing a separate one on that PSA. We are not involved in that one at all. That's totally city. Yep.
Great.
Well, we probably couldn't separately engineer that at that
No, it'd be
price, so-
difficult. We talked through trying to figure that out, but it kind of all needs to mesh together, so.
Okay. Any more discussion? Seeing none, all in favor of the board chair signing this document, say aye.
Aye.
The chair votes aye. So, there. And any weekly updates?
The only other thing I have is LTAP dropped off our radar traffic counter to use this spring, so that is deployed on Grand Avenue. So we'll leave that. We're going to move it at least once to gather some different information north and south of Whitetail with some of the different traffic patterns there. So probably 2 weeks I could have some preliminary findings on that, which will line up pretty well about that time. We need to be thinking about our dust control if we're going to bid again, I assume, and getting that out. So that should handle pretty well. Probably about 2 weeks I'll have some numbers there.
Okay.
I'm glad it's being done this time of year because of potential school traffic.
Yeah, that's what we really wanted to get it in before school got out, so.
The bridge that is gonna be redone on C-33 west of 63.
The first one?
Needs some maintenance attention. It's got a developing hole on the west end of it that's getting pretty large. Potentially a motorcycle could have an issue there, maybe.
You said on the west side of the bridge?
Correct.
Okay.
And how's our gravels doing with the softness and manure spreading and et cetera?
So far, we haven't had too many issues. We're just kind of ramping up. That'll be picking up here soon, so we'll get into them.
Okay. We had issues last year, so you're on top of it this year. And okay.
Much as we can be.
Great.
Nothing else for me this morning.
Thank you.
Anything else? Thank you.
Thank you. Do you want to attest that or give that to Shelley? I don't need it right now. Doesn't matter. Okay.
We'll put it in your box.
Perfect. Thank you.
Down in my pond yesterday, Cassandra, and was cleaning that out and got it 90% of the leaves and stuff out of it. That was, I started as soon as it got light yesterday, and by 1 o'clock or so I was done. Almost simultaneously, that wind picked up out of the south, and I think every loose leaf in the summer found its way back to my pond. Just so disheartening to go through that much work and then.
Have to start over.
So then I turned on my skimmer when it got enough water back in it. I had to go to a church meeting at 6:30, so that was about 6:10.
That how you
And-
keep everything out of it all summer?
Well, it helps take the leaves out and because it skims them out before they get wet enough to soak in. I plugged it in and all of a sudden I heard water that I shouldn't be hearing in here. One of the hoses blew going in after the filter into the spillway, so now the leaves are just sitting there waiting to fall to the bottom once again. I'm not gonna go back in there and clean it out again though.
And winter's making a comeback, maybe at some point this week, so.
As long as the DOT don't spray any more of that crap on the road. You wouldn't think they would with being as warm as it is. I don't know if it would even freeze on the roads, but they're not talking about it being that cold for snow.
No.
40, I think.
I would think it would just melt.
Cassandra, you sent that email about Nick.
Yeah.
Is it typically we have him come in and approve that, or?
I don't know that it's ever, I went back and looked at previous agendas and minutes, and I can't find, I see where they started the program, but I don't see where the actual request form has ever been approved by the board. That's why I sent you you could go out online and look at it. Up to you if you think that, I don't know what he's changing on it. I don't know if he's changing the amount, I don't know. Having board approval doesn't hurt anything, so sometimes when we're not certain, it might just be better to just do it, but.
Okay, go ahead and put it on.
Okay.
And,
I'll get him in here.
Cassandra, do you remember the C-33 paving that we moved the ARPA funds to? Do you remember what the amount was? We had that money we couldn't appropriate to the courthouse at the end of '24. We paid for the 25. It was a project done last summer. Do you remember what that amount was? I can find the action in the minutes, but I can't find the bid letting. I can dig for it and find it. I just.
Let's see. $592,043
Okay.
is how much we spent out of that, and we've got 9 cents left.
Okay. I was thinking it was only like 439. Okay.
So Nick has to update it because of it has David's
Oh.
contact.
So is that something you want? If it's not changing anything other than the name,
Yeah,
he should be able to just do that.
yes, yes. So, you want me to respond or?
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. Go
Okay.
ahead and just let him know you can. If it's just that, that's pretty.
Yep, okay.
Got any predictions on what tax bill is gonna get passed?
I went to watch the webinar yesterday from ICAP. That's their attorneys that, and I have it written down, the one that they think that will be passed. And it is gonna be the 2%, and credits, I used the wrong word, credit's the wrong word, but, you know, with the over 65, million to pay out property taxes. So there's gonna be multiple things hitting us all at once. And, they kind of indicated on there that everything is looking towards, the state forcing everyone to consolidate, where you don't have a level government like this. It's one big proceed. They had a few bills that were.
And of course, that works out really well for the state and federal governments being big and tech hub and everything over there.
Yeah, that's, when you have a structure like this that goes through this, always work out the best.
Things happening in, everywhere. It's happening in our churches, it's happening in our schools, it's happening everywhere. Lindsay, how are you today?
Good. Busy.
How was vacation?
That's next week. Find out. We'll see if there's how much ice there is.
Where are you going?
Winnebagoshish,
Okay.
northern Minnesota.
And your ice fish?
Maybe. We'll see when we get there.
Be careful.
Yeah. Might be open water by that time. We'll find out.
Oh, they just had a snowstorm not that long ago.
Yeah. There's still 40s, 50s during the day,
Oh.
upper 30s at night, so.
In northern Wisconsin, the ice is starting to go out, but there's still quite a bit of good ice yet. But there's some commercial captain on the Great Lakes that I follow that they turned around trying to get out of Duluth Harbor yesterday. They couldn't bust the ice, so
Yeah.
20 miles out, they just gave up.
Yeah, I don't know I'd go out that far at this time of year, but.
You're just a little bit further north in Minnesota. You'll probably be okay for
Yeah.
at least the beginning of the week.
Yeah, right. Get our limit and go home.
Okay, we'll get started with Lindsay for our building and zoning. We have two items we're going to be discussing. We're on the second reading of ordinance 2602. Do I hear a motion?
So moved and waive the third.
Second your motion.
We're in discussion. Anything new from last week?
Nope, no new comments or concerns with this one.
And just remind the public what's going to happen here.
We are rezoning this whole parcel from A1 to A2 for one single-family home.
Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll approve ordinance 2602 and waive the third reading. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
And the chair votes aye. That has been approved. Go to your next action item. This is going to be the second reading of 2604. Do I hear a motion on 2604?
So moved. Similar fashion, I'd move to approve the second reading and waive the third.
Second.
Okay. In discussion, what's new on this one from last week?
Nothing new on this one. Eliminating the spot zoning of the commercial district and splitting off the back 2 acres for a new single-family home.
Any more discussion? Seeing none, we'll approve ordinance 2604 and waive the third readings. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
And the chair votes aye. That has been approved. You'll be on vacation, and your dates are?
Next week, the 6th through the 10th.
Great. Anything else?
That's all I got.
Fantastic.
Thanks, Lindsay. Enjoy your vacation.
Thank
Yes.
you. Didn't do very well timing out the meeting today. A lot of breaks.
Yeah.
job. I'm gonna leave at about 10:45, 10:49 or so between there. Darla has a follow-up pulmonology appointment that I wanna meet her at, so.
Okay.
I guess I will likely be done anyway, but maybe not.
missing?
So that's how much left.
I have a question for you later when you're done. It's about I can't think. Yeah, it's about that. Oh, Kessler, the Kessler deed.
Oh, God.
I have a question.
Friends?
How much was, what she knows that she's got 12,000?
Just in and out?
Yeah, just one of those days.
Is that your North Carolina tie you have on today? Didn't know if you want to go coaching or,
No.
or have they filled that position? No, I haven't heard.
Oh, I don't know either. My biggest concern is who's gonna replace Ben Jacobson down at UNI right now?
Is he going?
He's going. I don't know where yet, though.
Idaho State or something like that.
Oh, okay.
Really? I did not hear that. When did that?
Just came out, yeah. That hurts. He's done great things.
He has been a good coach for the community and the school and well-liked and.
Yeah, great guy.
And they get McDermott to come back, or they'll probably get someone out.
Yeah, that's what happened with him. We just cultivated him and it just worked out fantastic. I think five trips to the tournament, five championships. I mean, he's had a great 20 years.
Yeah.
20 years at the helm plus
Assistant coach.
5 or 6 years, I think, as an assistant. That'd be great.
Utah State is going to. Alrighty, let's get started here. We're on our Bremer County Courthouse additions and renovations. So, got two things to discuss. One is our alternative project, and then we'll talk about ARPA dollar expenditures. So, Scott, you want to kick it off, or Corey?
You had a conversation with Eric after the meeting last week.
Yeah, he didn't. He was going to check to see what their schedule was like and if it's something they'd be able to work with us on, but he did not get back to me before he left for vacation, so it's going to be a week or two before we hear back from ISG.
And once again, what we're asking them is kind of remove the meeting room, remove the garage, and then that kind of be a bare bones project.
I think that's what we were going to decide today, if that's the direction we want to go or what for sure we wanted to do.
Okay. So Corey, is what's the negatives? It's just going to with a bare bones approach, no garage, no meeting room at this point in time, and just focus on what's required.
Well, that envelope would fit in the elevator that we know is a need. Stairs from each level would be part of that. Tying in like hardscape outside, like sidewalks that are in need of repair. We've got concrete, curb, sidewalk, etc. that needs repair. The vestibule has been on its last leg for at least a decade, if not more.
Yep.
What that leaves out is we still have an unmet need for garage space. Because of the parking lots and taking over more of the snow duties at the law center, the tractor that we bought this last year for handling that won't fit inside the garage with the snow equipment on it. The plow has never been able to be put on the truck, so the truck sits outside, has to be cleaned off every morning for snow, when we do snow. Housing all that equipment. So Scott and I have looked at, potentially a couple other close by properties. There's some opportunities there that we could pursue if the board wanted to maybe look at some off-site or off-campus housing for equipment. Maybe that's the more cost-effective way to split that out. At least go explore and find out if it would be even an opportunity available to us. I would like to see kind of keeping the footprint similar so that we could add on in the future if we were able to do the meeting room if it's determined to be a need at that point. We were having a conversation earlier, the construction and the format of county government or local governments in general may change, so maybe some of those needs are premature to determine now if they're even viable.
Scott, a long time ago, I think we asked the question if we had options with the elevator. Are there options beyond totally tearing it out and rebuilding a new shaft? And
Yep.
If so, could we go back to exploring those options? Because it seems to me like if we would be able to maintain the existing elevator and stairway, we could concentrate then on putting up a decent-sized garage and tying that in with an entryway, and immediate problems 100% solved.
Yep, I think it was back in 2022, we did get a price from Schumacher to update our existing elevator controls, and we would have to get I think a waiver at that time. I'd have to look, but I think it was we'd have to request a waiver from the fire marshal office to update it to the 2019 code. And that would update the existing, it would stay exactly like it is, just update the existing
Well, we have a
elevator.
pretty strong argument based on the cost
Yep.
of driving what?
And I think that back at that time was 178,000.
I mean, a lot of the exploration work is done, Terracom's done their work. I don't want to oversimplify, but it seems to me like, if we could put on the garage that is needed for today and a better entry, leave the existing with, as Supervisor Szewinski states, the option of adding then onto that, the meeting room and that next
Yeah.
phase or level. We could almost say, we'll do phase 2, but phase 2 is smaller. Phase 3 at some time could be done when it's more practical to do.
Yeah, no, that's definitely something we'd have to explore and see if ISG is willing to work with us and,
Well, there's
And
a lot
determine-
of architects out there,
yes,
so
yes,
if they're not.
nope, yes, yep.
And determine if 2019 standards would still be viable.
Yeah, yep.
If what's changed there.
The big thing we probably have to get with Schumacher first, because I know they did order some materials for that elevator, and see how, what we'd have to pay, or if we're able to get out of that. And
Last week,
I thought he said like 7,500.
yeah, it was that or less into it so far.
Then just help me out, so the elevator would stay the same size, we wouldn't increase the capacity?
No, it'd be the same car. It'd be updating the controls and the mechanical room down the boiler.
Because right now ADA says we have to have a little bit bigger elevator to
Yes.
turn around.
Yep.
So that's where the waiver would come in.
Yeah.
To grandfather in the cart size.
And then the stairs would stay. All that would stay.
I think that, to me, is the most practical, immediate solution. Doesn't really alleviate some of the potential future need space, but
And this garage, is it just updating the current one, or is it, what was your thinking there?
Originally, we had talked about just adding on to the current garage, but when we switched architects midway through the project with ISG, the new architect told us we would have to eliminate the storage underneath the existing garage. So that was then kind of when we abandoned that idea.
Okay.
So
The
we'd have
cost
to probably
associated
look back into that.
The costs associated with the footings that were the issue there, and just look cost prohibitive is why we.
But again, a lot has changed, and now there's different space available out there.
Yes.
With the tower gone, maybe you leave the the existing garage and put up a additional garage to the east.
Yeah, we'd probably need to make a decision on that pretty quick, because we did do a change order to expand that driveway over, and I believe they were looking at coming to do that in 2 to 3 weeks, so.
That was for our trash can.
Trash can and a place to park.
Maybe we should hold off on that.
Yeah, we can. I can reach out and let them know, but we.
You know, my colleagues have to agree to that.
Yes,
I
yeah,
can't.
yep.
But that seems reasonable, especially if we're still in the exploration of.
But that cost was,
It was like 30,000.
And it was part of the contingency?
It was part of the contingency of
So
phase
still
one.
coming out of phase one?
Yeah. And, you know, we made that decision based on the fact we were gonna have a garage and the big.
yep. And currently, the space underneath this garage, I thought it wasn't used a lot because it's leaking.
It's where clerk of court stores all their records.
Okay. There's your words. Okay.
Yep. And that's
Could it-
also the mechanic.
could it-
That's also where the mechanical room for the elevator is.
Could the mechanical room stay if the clerk of court's stuff was relocated?
I'd have to check with ISG again. When we got Jason Adams as the architect, he was the one that had concerns about it and said that we wouldn't be able to have, if we added on to the garage, we wouldn't be able to have the walls and the footings that are there. There couldn't be storage under it, so. But when we still had Nathan as the architect, he had a design that showed us being able to expand the garage and keep that underneath there.
Yeah, at that point, all we were doing was adding 4 or 5 feet. We were
Yes.
Just moving that much closer to the road to get the length for vehicles.
Yeah.
That's all we were doing.
I'm thinking out loud, but thinking of the space that's available out there, if the existing garage was torn down and a new, larger garage was put up with the idea of maybe a third stall or whatever.
Well, that would help a lot,
could
yeah.
Could be some storage.
Yeah.
And then rather than stuff being brought into the basement where there is the potential for water concerns, that could be there if you could figure out a spot for the mechanical for the
Yeah,
elevator.
yep. Well, we'd have to, I mean, it's nothing we've looked at, but I would think it'd be doable.
So it sounds like we got 2 options we could be pursuing. One is, once again, just remove off the garage and the meeting room and kind of go down that path, or a bare bones approach, getting a waiver for the elevator and just expanding the garage.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we have some other things, tuck pointing and things like that we want to also.
Yes, and we could go ahead and install the 2 smaller air handlers. I did talk to Air Services, who's had our maintenance contract on these air handlers since they were installed new, and he gave me a real rough quote of about $81,000 to install the east air handler unit. And he would like to, before he got into looking at the top one, because then you'd have crane costs and we'd have to get gas up there. We didn't get into pricing that one yet, so.
And so you want to package this all together, or you want to do it separately, or what are you thinking?
That kind of is up to Myron. I mean, and you guys, we could do the air handlers separately if we wanted. Just work with Dan. We've worked with Dan a long time, so.
So that's discussion on alternative projects. So it sounds like we got 2 pathways there that we like to review. So what about the ARPA dollar expenditures? Where are we at?
So, in talking about it, even with the elevator, because you said just over 100,000 was your last quote just to upgrade that one, correct?
Yeah, it was 178, so. yeah.
So that's close to what they had in here for the elevator, the new elevator in phase one. I would think that the elevator has to stay as change order. If it's still an elevator, it's just not the elevator they quoted here, would that,
Have you already obligated the funds?
we have not paid for the elevator.
But it's,
It's obligated as
It's not-
part of this contract.
okay, then yes, the change order, and you'd be fine.
So at the very least, the elevator, we'd want to do as a change order separate from any other new contract you would
Okay.
sign. What we're gonna come down to is, I gave you a list of what we have left in dollars, and we may have to talk with Myron on how many of these dollars, and I gave you a second sheet of this, shows what's left on there. How many of these dollars they think that they're still gonna expend. Because we gotta figure out where we're gonna end with ARPA by December 31st. I'll have a report to do in April that will show where we're at current to date. It'd be nice if we kinda knew by then, before I filed it, where we're gonna, because you can move ARPA around within the things that were obligated. You just can't add new, except for change orders that are somewhat within the same scope of the original obligation. Missy's here, can give an update. I gave you how much is the archives left, and Missy's trying to work with them.
So Missy, why don't you come up here and just tell us about your project and get some remaining funds, any other scanning projects in your department?
They forgot one book, so they had to take that with them and do that. So they're working on that now. And I got an estimate. She can't give me final numbers because they have to redact anything that, like social security numbers, if they show up in any of these records. And that's based on the number they have to do. So she can't give me a final estimate right now. But with what we have to pay yet, it comes to like $217,637.46. So it was budgeted for, not budgeted, but $227.29, or not 29 cents. So there will be a little.
There's gonna be $9,391.54 off of the estimated number that she gave. So we'll have potentially that left. We have 9 cents from the C-33 project. Terracon, construction, observation, and materials testing, that was over both phases. We still have $25,585.62 left there. I don't know. It was phase 2 of, so we contracted with them, and we have a signed document, making sure Darius understands this, and it was to be doing the testing, phase 1, phase 2. If phase 2 isn't the same phase 2, do we need to just put this money elsewhere? We have a change order for landscaping that happened after December 31st, but it is part of phase 1. It's $39,961.18. If that phase order can be included, we've got enough of the Terracon that would be offset with that, and with Missy's additional 9,000, that would pretty much pay for that. If you feel that that meets the scope.
I think we'd have to look at it.
Okay.
To look at it and go through it and
Okay.
figure out what exactly it is.
Yeah, I think what I would ask is, knowing these dollars are ARPA, and we can have some flexibility, what's our priorities, and say, okay, this is where the dollars should be going to fulfill all ARPA dollars.
I would definitely say with the archive, we go with the numbers they gave. and we'll shift the other to the construction project. If there's additional money that comes in, we may end up having to just pay for it out of general fund, if there's additional expense beyond what they're
I
estimating
won't.
right now.
They're finishing up on mine, so if there is any more, I wouldn't think it'd be a lot.
I don't know if you can use any of your recorder fund out of that fund.
I could.
If there was any additional.
I could.
Beyond that 12,000 something.
Yeah, I could. I have some in my records management.
I just don't want to leave it all sitting there and then we're not going to spend it all.
Right.
I think the best plan forward is wherever we can with Darius's assistance on these change orders to make sure that they do fit within the guidelines of ARPA expenditures. We try and shift everything left to the project and spend it as best we can with the change orders.
I have like 15,000 in my records management right now, so I definitely could.
Absorb anything that would come in beyond that 12.
Okay. So it sounds like Missy's sitting good. We'll just use any excess within, like Cassandra says. So next week, can we get an update from Scott on talking to Myron if they're going to be interested?
Myron, well, we probably need to decide if do we want to put a hold on the driveway expansion?
I'd say put a hold on the driveway
I
expansion.
think we need to, there's too many questions right now to move forward with it.
Worst case scenario there is we could do it separate with the
Paving.
Yeah.
law center
Yep, okay.
project if we need to, so.
Second, I think we should move forward with getting a better number on the west air handler.
Okay.
I think that's something that we at least get a budgeting number for.
And I think we should start the process of seeing if we are even in the capability of getting a waiver for the
Okay.
elevator.
Yeah, I think we can determine that.
We'll probably have to start with Myron with that because technically they hold the contract with Schumacher for the, yeah.
Fine,
Yep.
yeah.
And they're the ones that are part of this phase one that we would be doing
Yes.
a change order on, so if it completely went away from here and it was just strictly with Schumacher's now, we did not have an obligation with them, so.
So, and for our conversation when Eric is back from vacation with ISG would depend on the outcome of the elevator.
Yeah.
On
Yep.
what direction we would go, but it would be garage renovation, vestibule, north entry, rehab, or
Yes.
redesign.
Yep. He said he was going to check with staff to see if they would have time and the desire to, take on another project with us, so.
Desire or just sick of us?
Yeah, yes, I think that is probably more accurate.
Understandable, I mean, but we have constituents that are
Oh, yeah, yep,
following two of them.
yes, yep.
They don't need to worry about that, we do, so.
Great. Well, it seems like we have some path forwards here, so this does sound like a good productive discussion. So what else you need from us?
So do you want this just kind of maybe for the next few weeks to be an agenda item at a time?
Yep.
So we can just keep getting
Updates and making sure that we fulfill our responsibilities. So yes, continue to have this on our agenda, please.
My only question is does it have to be an agenda item, or can we just put it on as, because like today, we sat for a half hour.
And I've got it in a gap now of 9:30 to 9:45, 9:45 to
Okay.
10. So it will be in,
Okay, just,
and the only reason I say that is because we want to make sure that Scott can be down here. And if we've got questions for Darius. If I put it under administrative, then you're just,
true.
and if you have all the answers next week, we might be done with it.
Scott is smiling. I don't know why he's smiling.
Move to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor of adjourning, say aye.
And then
We are
save
adjourned.
them too, right?
9:45 next